Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to the Municipality of Tweed Council meeting on July 21st, 2026. We always begin our meetings with our land acknowledgement. The Municipality of Tweed recognizes that our work takes place on traditional Indigenous territories, including the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. We recognize and respect the history, languages, and cultures of the First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all Indigenous peoples, whose presence continues to enrich our communities. Megwitch, please join us now in the singing of O Canada. Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the approval of today's agenda, please? Mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said agenda? Seeing none, be it resolved that the agenda for the July 21st, 2026 regular council meeting be approved as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes from our June 23rd, 2026 council meeting, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Any questions on those minutes? Seeing none, be it resolved that the minutes of the June 23rd, 2026 regular council meeting be adopted as presented. All in favor? Thank you. We will be holding a closed meeting during the regular council meeting pursuant to section 2392 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 as amended to consider the following matters. B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. 1, Arena Ice Rentals. 2, employee complaint, human resources. And C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. My remarks. Where are they? Come on. One moment, please. Okay, this has to be the most happening municipality in Hastings County. Let's start with the front porch ruckus, with musical performances at 19 porches throughout the village. Congratulations to the Tweed and Area Arts Council for an amazing Sunday afternoon of music. A huge thank you to Cindy Chow and Brittany Bachelari Casabo and all the volunteers for organizing our Canada Day Parade, followed by an afternoon of fun-filled activities. Thank you as well to Jim Keniston for once again marshalling our parade, and to all those who lined our streets and joined in the festivities on a wickedly sweltering day. That day finished with another devastating storm. Thank you to our Public Works team, Fire Department, and Hydro One for working tirelessly to restore power, clear our roads of fallen trees, and respond to fires caused by downed hydro lines. We are so very lucky to have the staff that we do, who are always watching out for our safety. And it doesn't end there. Congratulations to and thank you to the Tweed Hungerford Agricultural Society for bringing so much joy, fun, and entertainment to the residents of our municipality and our neighbors. It's hard to believe that you have been doing this for 146 years. Thank you, Jeanette Honey, Wayne Spicer, and your board for your annual commitment to this fun-filled extravaganza. Not everyone may know that some of the winners from our cattle judging competitions go on to compete at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair in Toronto. We wish every entry all the success. And to cap it all off, thank you, Alex, for bringing the hilarious drag show to the Gateway Restaurant. The sold-out audience was reeling with laughter the entire night. Thank you, Amanda Manipulate, Rowena Way, Tiffany Morgan, and Bewitched for the many laughs, satire, and comedic wit. You are welcome back anytime. Is there something? Is that outside?
It's outside.
Okay. Congratulations to the Canadian Legion on celebrating your 100th anniversary. Our Legion has been instrumental in coordinating our Remembrance Day ceremonies, installing the pictorial banners honoring our veterans, supporting veterans and their spouses, raising funds for community causes, and providing a place for residents to gather in friendship. Thank you for all that you do. These are just a few examples of what makes our municipality such a wonderful place to call home. I also want to thank our administration and financial teams for their commitment to quickly addressing the software glitch that resulted in some residents having their bank accounts debited twice for the municipal taxes. You rallied together, you supported one another, you solved the problem and immediately began making things right for the affected residents within 24 hours. That is what teams do, especially when they are down a key player. I also want to thank the affected residents for contacting the office and for their patience and understanding. The last thing our staff needs to be accused of is financial improprieties. Technology is not flawless, and neither are we. I'm grateful that the OPP recognized that from the outset. Now for the boring bits of business. On June 30th, Councillor Valiquette and I attended a Moira Place farewell party for Dr. Chuck Mustard, who also retired that day. Just like Chuck, he wouldn't leave until he knew that he had found his replacement. On July 1st, I was joined by Deputy Mayor Demarche, Councillors Fleeler and Valiquette, as we marched in our Canada Day parade and participated in the afternoon's festivities. On July 2nd, I attended the Kiwanis executive meeting, followed by the Kiwanis general meeting. On July 4th, I attended the Tweed and Company production of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. This hilarious musical starred none other than Chuck Mustard. Personally, I think he hung up the telescope so he'd make his grand theatrical debut. It was an enjoyable afternoon, and it is at my understanding there were a few other celebrities testing their theatrical chops, including MP Cramp Newman, MPP Brise, and our very own Councillor Valiquette. On July 6th, Deputy Mayor Demarche and I attended the Joint Fire Services Board meeting. On July 7th, I met with Victoria Treverton, Executive Director of the Central Hastings Support Network, to turn over my 50-50 winnings from the Walk the Trail event. I asked that my $2,005 in winnings be allocated to the Rural Transit Program. Nearly 1/3 of the program's ridership comes from the municipality of Tweed. On July 10th, I attended the opening ceremonies of the Tweed Agricultural Fair, accompanied by Deputy Mayor Demarche and Councillors Fleeler and Valiquette. We are also pleased to be joined by MP Shelby Cramp-Nyman and MPP Rick Bressie. MP Cramp-Nyman certainly entertained the crowd when she climbed into a truck and pulled a huge load down the track, far beyond what anyone expected. We all learned that you do not mess with a cramp. Thank you, MP Cramp-Nyman, for always being such a good sport. On July 11th, I attended the Gateway Restaurant Drag Show. On July 16th, we had to cancel our council training session because not all members of council were able to attend. On the evening of July 20th, I attended the Belleville General Hospital Donor Appreciation event. This morning, CIO Diski and I had a courtesy visit from Alexis Doyle with Elto. She advised that the government will be narrowing the Ottawa to Montreal route by November and by early 2027 for the Ottawa to Toronto route. In our area, both routes are still under investigation. She also noted that environmental and other related studies continue in the central segment from Ottawa and Montreal. It is with great sadness that we say goodbye to Mayor Randy Wallace, who passed away suddenly. As Warden Mullen noted, Mayor Wallace cared deeply about his community and brought a steady, thoughtful presence to every discussion in County Council. His kindness and commitment to public service will be remembered with great respect. Randy was one of the kindest, gentlest souls I've ever had the pleasure of working with. The municipality of Tweed extends our heartfelt sympathies to the Wallace family. And please be careful out there. Record heat waves and forest fire smoke are becoming more commonplace, and we all need to take necessary precautions to stay safe. Our library and municipal office continue to be open as cooling centers. Enjoy the summer while you can. It always seems to pass far too quickly. Thank you. Yes, Councilor
Your
Filler.
worship, I just want to mention that with that storm, the last storm, because of the trees on the East Hunterford Road, I was out there moving trees off the road from about 9:30 to 1 o'clock. People were stopping, asking what they could do. And I said, I'll go down and clean them off. So anyway, good job by the crew and the Hydro boys. And
This is getting ridiculous, though.
I know. But they're always there.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the May 2026 monthly variance report, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Any questions on SID reports? Oh, I'm going to turn it over. Cindy, are you connected?
I am here, but I don't see any ability for the camera. Can you
Cindy?
hear me?
I see your link.
Anyway, I guess I'll just talk since I don't, something's happened here with strange with the camera, and it's just my name, and if that's okay, I'll just speak to it. Can you still hear me?
Oh, no, okay, we can now. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, so I don't know why this is, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. You're good.
Okay, well, I'm just going to speak to it then. I don't know what's happened to the camera. So all I want to mention is that the May variance report is a lot similar to the April variance report. There are no significant concerns at this time. Although there are some accounts that are over budget, it's important to note that many other accounts are under budget, which could potentially provide offsets. We will be producing a second quarter forecast to estimate the year-end results based on the June 30th actuals, and hope to be bringing that to council in August. The notable variances, though, that are identified, so obviously it's the snow plowing. This past winter has been marked by frequent snowfalls and freeze-thaw cycles, which have complicated road maintenance and clearing efforts and have increased the related costs significantly. I just noticed that Kingston is facing a $3.1 million snow clearing deficit. You can still hear me? Sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Yep, we're good.
Sorry, I'll go ahead. Tweed may have a $100,000 deficit related to snow clearing, and if this deficit cannot be covered by a surplus in other accounts, there are sufficient funds in the public works reserves to cover this deficit. Additionally, some vehicle and equipment maintenance accounts are over budget. However, the total amount budget for this type of maintenance is $211,600 in 21 different accounts. So $95,000 has been spent, and there's still $117,000 remaining. So all this to say that yes, we are over budget in some areas, but there are under budget in other areas. Then we will be bringing a forecast at to June 30th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that will be for our August meeting. Okay. Any questions of the treasurer? Yes, Councillor Fleeler. Oh no, here we go.
So
again.
I don't know if this is more for Cindy or for Ryan, but just line 244 where there's a 2023 Ford pickup that we budgeted $3,000 for, and then it cost us almost $10,000. Is that because the actual spent to May were 9.8? Correct?
Through his worship, what's the question, I guess?
Oh, so the question is, I'm just curious why there was so much. Like, is it as a result of some failure in the vehicle, or is it because we're using it for plowing so repetitively?
Yeah, through the chair. That's essentially it. And we also have like a snow plow attached to that vehicle, which falls into that budget, sander spreader as well. So there was a new motor we had to put on there, some repairs we had to make to the plow itself, and then a couple other things in between. So it's more or less to do with the use of the equipment, not a regular maintenance thing, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, yes, Councillor
With
Pitt.
with all the other information that we had to go through, I hardly had a chance to go through this budget. I might have to raise issues at the next meeting.
Well, it'll be coming back at the next meeting. We're gonna have a more of an update, okay? No problem. Anybody else? Seeing, no, just let me go back here. Be it resolved that council accept the May 31st, 2026 monthly financial variance report as presented, provided. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, now we're going to do a department updates, and could I get a mover and a seconder to table the Chief Administrative Office update of July 21st, 2026, please? Mover and seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Over to you, Ron.
Thank you, and through the chair. You have lots to cover today, so it won't take too much time. Big thank you to the financial team. Cynthia, Arthur, Dave, Julianne, the admin staff, Lori, everybody who was hands on deck. Our summer student Cassie for the new payroll system and rolling that out and getting it started. That was about I think it was close to 15-week rollout to get everything done. I just want to emphasize and thank Arthur Smith, our deputy treasurer, for his role on this. He was the biggest part of it. He led it. And I think he's bald now, I'm not sure. He was pulling his hair out. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, Arthur. You did an amazing job, and I know the extra time. Just so everybody knows, nobody has ever beat Arthur into the office. Okay, Arthur was the first guy in. So thank you, Arthur. Quincy Conservation Authority, they've shared their 2027 operating budget with us. There's an increase of about $3,000. We will bring something back in August. I'm not sure what, but they are asking us for comments prior to the September 4th. Because they have to share the comments on September 17th with their executive board. This is part of the new legislation, with the government asking them to have their budgets done prior to the nomination of the conservation authorities. So we'll be bringing something back. You know, I guess I want to go over these documents that we provided with Cynthia and Kate. The mayor mentioned the windstorms. I just have to echo that. Especially the work staff, fire, parks, even the admin staff handling the phones in the front. A lot of trees down on hydro lines, different roads. Our staff did an amazing job to clear that, along with, of course, Ontario Hydro and Bell. So thank you to the team for that. Thank you to the special events team for Canada Day, made some job there as well. One thing that's on there somewhere on this agenda is a motion for our cybersecurity software. So I'll leave that with the mayor, but just an overview of that. We have been contacted by the Hastings County. They are now our IT support. We had previously put money into our new server upgrades, but we've been told we do not need those. But we need about $6,000 for a cybersecurity software solution. I can't emphasize enough how serious this is and how badly this is needed. Brighton just went through some type of issue, cybersecurity. So this will be money well spent, and it will help us maintain security of our documentation, our records. And the last thing I want to bring up on this part of the agenda is we had a council meeting scheduled for July 16th with the training session. We had to cancel that. The trainer has made available other dates. He's available August 10th, 11th, 13th, 14th. That's the week that we have our council meeting on August the 11th. So I need council to pick a date to reschedule that. My recommendation is maybe on the 11th. If we get a break or no break in between, we can cancel it.
So would we do it before? Like, and then, okay.
3 to 5, 4 to 6.
Okay, that sounds. How does that sit with everybody?
What will those dates be?
Okay, it would be, we're looking, the one we're looking at first is the one on August 11th, which we have a council meeting that night. And thinking of doing the training from 3 to 5 and then having a break. And then,
What were the rest of the dates? That week, he's not available on the 12th. He's previous commitment. But August 10th, 11th, 13th, 14th. I'm gonna go on 15th.
I know you have,
Yeah, no, I'm just being up in the air. I
yeah,
guess.
because you've got a little one on the way. Um, would you like to just get it all done in one day?
That would work best for you, would it not?
Well, I'm fine. I'm here all week. I'm
Okay.
here all week.
I'll have to check.
Thank you.
I'll have, like, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, if you could get back to us. Okay, send those dates, Ron, if you would, to everybody. Talk about the one that we're leaning towards, okay? And then we should get everybody get back to you by tomorrow so we can reach out to the trainer.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to go back to the okay. Any questions before we move on to the motion down below, which I will read in regards to the cybersecurity? Yes.
The mayor to the CEO. So in the next budget, will we still require the server upgrades as well next year? Chair, Councilor, no, to the deputy. No, it's going updates. Right term. Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Yes, yes, Councillor Flaler.
Where's the-
Don't
I
forget to
don't-
turn the thing on.
Oh, sorry. I'm not very IT savvy, but I don't know about this iCloud thing. I had 12,000 emails dumped on my account just in the blink of an eye. So is that the most secure way to?
The county is asking us to move in that direction. and I
Okay,
think we're really
okay.
good with them
Yep,
in that
okay.
regard. Okay, good. Thank you, though. Okay, no further questions of that report before we move on to the other motion. Okay. Be it resolved that council receive the CAO update report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Now, okay, I'm going to read this resolution. This is the cybersecurity one. Could I have a mover in a second? Okay, I'll read it and have a mover in a seconder. Whereas the municipality of Tweed is transitioning to Hastings County for information technology support, and whereas the county has recommended that municipality of Tweed purchase a software called Sophos MDR complete for cybersecurity protection, and whereas the cost for a one-year license is $5,386 plus applicable taxes, and whereas the municipality has not budgeted for this cost in 2026, and whereas the municipality has budgeted $6,000 for server upgrades in the 2026 capital budgets that will now not be needed this year or at all. Now, therefore, it be resolved that council approve the purchase of the Sophos MDR complete software and that funds allocated for server upgrades be. What was that? What that say?
That's you talking to yourself.
What was it? Oh, okay.
Good feedback.
You're getting feedback from yourself.
And it doesn't sound good. And that the funds allocated for server upgrades be used to fund the purchase of the Sophos MDR complete software in 2026. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councilor Palmetier. Okay, and I think we've had a good discussion on that. Accepting the motion as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the animal control agreement update, please? Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Okay, any questions on that particular report? Agreement update. Okay. Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the animal control agreement update report as presented, and further that mayor, clerk, and CEO be authorized to execute the dog pound agreement and the animal control services and livestock investigator services agreement as tabled. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table? I just lost it. The outdoor stage agreement. I'm sorry, I keep losing that one. Can I just see your screen there? Yep. Yeah, go to field test, yeah, okay. So anyway, there's been a request tabled by Tweed and Company Theater in regards to forgiveness on the outdoor stage. And anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ron, if you could just walk everybody through it. And I want to see if I can pull this up over here, okay? Thank you. I saved as my screen.
Feedback.
Go ahead.
Right, through the chair. We received correspondence from Tweed & Company late last year regarding the upper stage, the programming of it, and the loan connected to it. Just a little bit of history on this. The stage was completed in May 2023. Ownership of the stage was transferred to the municipality, financed by a provincial grant during COVID. A little bit more was needed, so the municipality provided a loan. There's still about 37K remaining on that loan. And then the question came in about the management of the stage and the program of it. So the request has been to hand the scheduling back to the municipality. And the master of the loan to be forgiven. Staff have reviewed the contents of this. Management programming of the stage can be returned to the municipality. You may see an increase in our budget if you do want to program it. In my experience, is something like that. It costs money to book events, it costs money to provide sound, it costs money to have staff available to lock up. Do things like that. So if you wanted to do, for example, concerts in the park, like a night, Tuesday nights or Sunday nights, there would be a budget required for that. As far as the loan goes, we have, I have consulted with our treasurer. We do not believe that should be forgiven. On another note, we are going to be meeting with Tim, his team, to talk about usage of Acton Light Hall, give them an opportunity to provide more services to our community as well as generate some revenue. Just a second. I'm getting feedback, they can't hear you. Or something. There you go.
Is that better?
The public said that they hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the essence of the report. If there's any questions, we can field them now.
Okay, first of all, I should have got a mover and a seconder to get that on the table, and I didn't. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette, and thank you, Councillor Palmetier. So thank you, we got that on the table. So is everybody, can we hear, everybody hear everything now? Is everything good? Looks, okay. So yeah, so there were a couple of things there you tabled. That Tweed & Co would like us to forgive the loan, of which is 37,000 or whatever left on it. And they also would like us to take back the booking of the stage, not take back, take over the booking of the stage. We never done it before. And further, you've indicated that if we did do so, that there would be a required budget associated with that. And then thirdly, like you're going to be meeting with them to talk about a number of other things in regarding the Acton Light Hall. So first of all, if we're going to be taking over something and we don't have the budget for this year, I think it should be deferred to the next budget, the next council. Okay, so there'll be no taking it over this year. Okay, so that would be my recommendation. Secondly, I mean, the financial situation that we're in today, I don't think we have the luxury of being able to forgive a loan. That's my personal opinion. And what was the other thing? The Acton Light thing you're going to meet. Oh, the other thing that we mentioned that you and I have talked about is we did change the taxation on the Marble Arts Center, so that we've been able to free up some money there to help out. And I know that we're going to be looking at trying to grade the parking lot up there, like on the hill, so that more people can get in there. So these are good different other little things that we were going to do, is my understanding. So I just throwing that all out there. Okay, open it up to anybody that has any questions or comments. Yes, I'll go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
So Mayor, you made a couple suggestions. One's defer the takeover to budget, and you also, I see you've kind of changed the front of this resolution. So I guess the question would be to Councillor Valiquette and Councillor Palmetier if they're okay with that changes. And then we could take a better, closer look. You're saying to leave the bottom part as is and change the top to defer the takeover to budget, am I correct?
That's right. You okay with that?
Absolutely okay with it. I just think that we should have the discussion first and then we can make our amendments in totality.
Yeah, well, but it's because of what I've just said. I see why Deputy Mayor is making that
Yep.
change right now. So that's what's on the table and then we can discuss it again. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, okay, so let's just open up discussion. Go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah,
Your
Councillor
worship,
Palmetier.
so I'm in agreement with both those items that you've brought up. Now I think when it comes to budget, it'd be nice to have a bit of a better idea. I know we won't know until we're fully immersed in that. But just a bit of an idea of who on staff would be responsible for that kind of situation and what we would require. If, as an example, with the arena, we need to have 2 staff members there. Would it need to be the same for that when we're renting the stage out? So just some pieces maybe to bring to the next council so that they have an understanding of the totality of what they're taking on.
And if I
but-
just may interject quickly, just to follow up on what you're saying, and maybe we can reach out to Tweed and Co and find out exactly what it costs them when they're doing this to give us some of those benchmarks that you're looking for. But yeah, so that we can, when you come next to the next council, you have a fulsome report.
Yeah,
able to
yeah, and
address
it's
those.
still an estimate,
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
right? We won't know until we do it, till there's actuals. But yeah, that all looks fine.
Were you gonna say, I cut you off there, were you gonna say something?
No,
else?
no.
Okay, okay. Anybody else, any comment? Okay, let me go. Here we go, okay. Be it resolved, the council approve the request from Tweed and Company Theatre to transfer responsibility for the management and programming of the stage back to the municipality. And the next, will be, you're changing this. Okay,
I'll check it.
okay, oh, you did, oh, yes. Okay. Be it resolved, the council defer the request from Tweed and Company Theatre to transfer responsibility for the management and programming of the stage back to municipality to the 2027 budget deliberations. Thank you. And further, the council denies the request for Tweed and Company Theatre to forgive, reduce, or otherwise alleviate the outstanding loan in whole or in part. And further, that staff be directed to communicate council's decision to Tweed and Company Theatre. All in favor? Thank you. Public Works Manager, could I have a mover and a seconder to table the Public Works Department update, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Thank you, Councillor Valley-Kett. Okay. Over to you, Ryan.
Through his worship, the only thing that's kind of changed in between me writing this and what's going on now is we have a chip and tar date. They're hoping for Monday to get on Clinton Road and start the surface treatment on it. Other than that, everything's pretty status quo. But hopefully by the middle of next week, Clinton Road is done and resurfaced in those sections. So
Okay. Any questions of the Public Works Manager? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the Public Works Department update as presented. All in favor? No, we're getting double everything. Oh, okay. Okay, just lost it. Sorry, it's disappearing again. Can I just see your screen again? Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the speed concerns Lingham Lake Road analysis, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valley-Kett, and thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Okay, got it again. Thank you. Okay, Ryan, would you like to walk us through your report, please?
through his worship, this all kind of started based on a resident who kind of had some entrance issues and then, you know, kind of brought forward some other issues regarding speed and traffic. I went out on site and met with the resident there, and we had a discussion about what he was kind of seeing and what his feelings were about Lingham Lake Road. And as we stopped and had a chat there, a couple of residents came by as well, and they also voiced their opinions on the concerns they had with speeding and, you know, kind of what goes on Lingham Lake Road. Historically, we all know Lingham Lake Road is a very narrow, windy, hilly road in general. I'm not making a decision or recommendation to turn this to a 50 based on hard data counts, just based on visual characteristics of the road and what I can see visually. Anyone who's traveled on that road knows you can't travel it at 80 kilometers an hour. I was down there last week and the max I could do was about 45. ATV traffic is limited to 50 kilometers an hour. And I believe we should be in parallel with that as well and keep it consistent. But my recommendations there, if there's any questions, happy to answer them.
Okay, any questions from council? Yes, Councillor Fleeler.
Worship, I'm really disappointed that we are even discussing this, to tell you the honest truth. And I'm not saying that we don't need to stress safety, but anyway, to say the least, I'm very disturbed that we're ultimately been given an ultimatum. At our council meeting, June 23rd, 2026, a 5-point request was submitted by Derek Cook, property owner at Lingham Lake Road, posting the entire road at 50 kilometers an hour for all vehicular traffic, posting the road at 50 kilometers an hour from the first single lane area encountered to after the single lane bridge crossing at Black River, posting the single lane areas, blind corners and blind corners. As 40 kilometers an hour in lieu of any speed limit posting or changes, allowing a minor variance to approve his current entrance permit. And I've noted it must not be a legal entrance. So there's the ultimatum. We pick one. We do one or the other. We can't be doing, we can't do that. And the fifth one, posting signage on Lingham Lake Road for oncoming hills, corners, guardrails, and single lane bridges. We did not support speed reduction on Luffman Road. We did not support speed reduction on Morton Road. We did not support the requests from the Marlbank Road, and I think Sulphide Road as well. And we've had concerns on College Street, and we've turned every one of them down. So we have never heard of speeding situation on Lingham Lake Road. We don't have daily traffic counts, volume data, or speed monitoring information. The 85th percentile, as the roads manager documented in his in his notes there. Or police report collision statistics specific to the roadway. But there is a suggestion that the report does not rely on this measured traffic volume or speed data. The road has been there longer than I've been alive. We have never heard of any issues prior to this request. It's incredibly troubling that because an issue with an unpermitted entrance has appeared, we are faced with this ultimatum. We have many single lane roads with hills, curves, single lane bridges. Does this mean we're going to have to reduce the speed on all these roads? Out past my place, there's the roads are single lane roads, bridges, single lane bridges. We've got hundreds of kilometers of the same situation. I don't think we should, from the advice of one person, I don't think we can move forward on this thing. And I think in the options, we have option number 3, maintain existing conditions. So leave it as it is. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Firstly, I would like to mention that I don't look at these as ultimatums. I look as someone who's provided information to us for consideration. And I think we all agree, as has been the case with others, we encourage everybody to come to this table and present the concerns if they should have them. And so, like, I understand where you're coming from, but I also understand that this individual has every right to come forward and express their concerns, and I'm glad that they did. Now, I know our roads manager, you said you went out. Now, Council Fleeler has indicated, like, we have other situations where we have single lanes going into single bridges and whatnot. But was your perception that it was the angles of these things as well, and the location? I'm just looking for clarification.
Through the chair, to me, you know, Lingham Lake's a really special road that we have in our municipality. To me, there's no other road quite like it, with the winding turns, the hills, the rock cuts adjacent to the roadway, the waterways adjacent to the roadway. We've had discussions about Luffman Road, you know, turning it back to possibly a 50 the whole way. Luffman Road is a straight shot, one end to the other. It's wide enough for two vehicles. There's a hill there. We reached out to OPP for a Black Hat. Their software is getting updated. It couldn't happen. So we looked into that, but Luffman Road isn't Lingham Lake Road. So, you know, the characteristics are greatly different. Just my view on it, looking at the road, you know, it's not going to hurt us to make it a 50. It's going to reduce our liability if anything were to happen. So to me, it was a cheap option to limit our liability and make the road safer, essentially.
Any other questions, comments? Deputy Mayor Marsh.
I can appreciate some of the comments, and like I've been here all my life too. I've never heard of any major incidents on Lincoln Lake Road or any other resident complaints up there. But I think as Councillor Fleeter has alluded to, we've had similar requests in the past from other roads, and we've always maintained that, no, we need the data to support it and support these changes. And I'd also like to add that some of this data that we support it would be in consultation with the OPP for enforcement reasons. I think every request that we get for these roads have their unique challenges, and some of them are very narrow and winding. And I guess the $100 question is here: what makes Lingham Lake Road more urgent than the others requested to bypass this due diligence? All of them can pose safety issues and the same concerns from the residents on their particular roads.
Thank you. Anybody else? First, I'll go around and then come back to you, Councillor Fleeter. Yes, Councillor Palmer.
First, a question, Your Worship. The piece of equipment that we'd be purchasing to conduct traffic studies, I see an estimate here of 15,000. What type of piece of equipment is this? And were we already looking at something similar?
This
Or
is
this different? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, through the chair to the councillor, 15,000 is what was budgeted for the electronic sign. So that's the pot of money we do have. We are looking at a couple of different options we would like to get, and Ryan can help me out with the technology or the names, but there's the technology that you lay down across the road that can give you just traffic counts. There are the radar message boards that will tell people you're speeding too fast, but they also collect data such as, you know, speed. It would be similar to the data we were able to collect when we were looking at the automated radar enforcement boards. You know, that data was invaluable for us. You know, it told us how many vehicles were coming through, the peak times, the speed percentages, how many vehicles were going through at between 60 and 70, 70 and 80, 80 and 90. So we're hoping to get a mixture of those. The radar message boards are about $5,000 each. The other type of equipment that's easier to maintain and gives us that data that we need just to make those decisions on a number of vehicles going through, they're about $2,000 each, $1,500 to $2,000. So it depends on, you know, what pieces of equipment we can afford and which ones we need the most. So, but I would recommend at least 2 of the layout ones and at least 1 radar message board, if not 2.
Yeah, Your Worship. So going forward, I can absolutely see the value in that equipment. This is something that we've went almost 8 years I've been on council. We've discussed numerous times, and it just helps, you know, solidify our decisions. I do believe that that's a path that we should be taking. With Lingham Lake Road, I can only think of one other road that's similar to it in the municipality, and that would be Rockies Road. Kind of a similar terrain, narrow road. The one piece with both of those roads that's different is how secluded they are. once you get into them for things like emergency services. Now, the thing I don't want to see happen is that we don't move forward with some data collecting equipment, because I do think that that's something that we've sat around the table and talked about for far too long without acting on. So I believe that's the first step. Now, how long would it take us to
And that is
acquire
coming
it?
up later.
It's a later,
right?
yeah, that's not part
So-
of this discussion here.
So it will be like like, later on when we have the reviewing the various motions, that is one of the ones that we will table. So if we can go more into depth at that time, okay?
Yeah.
I see you're bringing it up now because
Yeah,
of the.
briefly, we discussed a couple of years ago now. I think Ryan had just joined us. We discussed that, most of the roads in the municipality shouldn't be 80 kilometers an hour. But then it's also very expensive and difficult to change all of those roads. So that's what's kind of led us to this data approach. And I think that's where we need to start. I don't disagree that Lingham Lake Road is very unique. However, I do think we've kind of set a precedent.
Thank you. Councillor Valiquette and then Councillor Fleury.
So I think the comments are very relevant that we've had so far, and I'm not in disagreement. I do think that, and I've said it before, that we need to be more data driven, that we need to substantiate our decisions based on good, solid evidence. And I think we may find, when you look at Lingham Lake Road, and there's always going to be a subjective component to this, which I will always turn to our roads manager to provide me with, because he's the expert. He's the person we've hired. But along with his expert opinion, I think we need to put him in a position where he can provide us with the data. And on top of that, it would be nice to have some commitment to our local police service that they will do some enforcement. So if you just kind of go and haphazardly change things without having all that in place, then I think you open yourself up, like Councillor Fleury said, to criticism from other people who've made suggestions about their roads in the past. So I'm not adverse to it. I think that Ryan's comments are valid, and I trust and I believe them, but I would like to have some data
Okay.
that would help him when he comes to us to substantiate the other things that he's identified about a particular roadway.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Fleury.
Okay, your worship, so in essence, the thing that brought this to light was the illegal entrance. Have we changed the entrance? Because that's the unsafe condition as far as I'm concerned, right there. The biggest unsafe condition.
Through his worship, changed as in,
Well, it's an illegal, it's not, it had to be moved, apparently, that's why we're here. He said, in number 4, in lieu of any speed posting or changes, allowing a minor variance to approve the current driveway, the current entrance permit. So it must
Your worship,
be in a.
Just a point of order. Are we kind of getting off of the
Oh,
topic?
it's listed right there, it's there. That's-
But I guess the thing is, again, what we need is, we're not, from what I'm getting is, we're not going to recommend that we proceed at this time because we need more information. And so I think once we get the information, I'm not even worried about addressing the last point you just made until such time as we have the information, which will ultimately perhaps change the whole nature of the discussion by everybody. So, I mean, if his entrance has not been approved, it has not been approved. Or if it's under review, it's under review. Ryan?
at this point, your worship, it'd be a non-conforming entrance, but our bylaw states that a resident's allowed to have one non-conforming entrance on his property. There's already an entrance on the property. Therefore, he has his one entrance.
Okay,
So at this point, the way it sits now, it would be denied
okay,
unless things change down the road.
okay.
And your worship, further to that, like I said, we've got Colonization Road, 90-degree corners
We're-
everywhere.
What we said is, we understand that there are other roads in this community, but we got to get our traffic information in order to make those decisions. So that's why we're basically denying the change at this time, because we are going to get the information we need based on what the observations as well as provided by our roads manager, put the two together and come up with what we consider a viable plan to be able to deal with this. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
And Mayor, going back to the speed counter, you weren't here. That was the meeting, you were gone. Council did discuss the purchase of a speed counter and it was denied at that time and suggested it be moved to budget. So that discussion did take place quite recently.
Sure, and that's fine. And I think what we've also realized is that we do have it, well, it's coming up later, so I'm not even going to talk about it now. We'll wait till we get to that speed counter thing. So
Mayor, can I record the vote, please?
sure. It's up to you. Lucas, you will take us through this. I will read I'm sorry, I've got to get back in here. Because this is going to change. Yeah. So the motion will change, Lucas.
So we,
We're just,
Is council looking at amending the motion or just voting on this motion?
oh yeah, we're just voting on this one and we can, that's right.
So we're voting on the current motion.
That's right. Okay. So the motion is be it resolved that council receive the speed concerns Lingham Lake Road report is presented and further council direct staff to bring forward a bylaw to implement the speed changes from 80 kilometers to 50 kilometers along Lingham Road and further that Lingham Road be posted with signage for 50 kilometers. Mover and a seconder are Councillor Valiquette and seconded by Councillor Palmetier. All in favor?
So.
Oh, you want a recorded vote? Sorry.
Your worship, we should mention also that we're entertaining option 3 to leave it as it is.
We're not, no, we're not. We're not entertaining anything. We're voting on this motion.
Okay.
Okay,
So just to clarify, we're not amending anything here, right?
No. okay, so Lucas,
Deputy Mayor Demarche has requested a recorded vote. It's been moved by Councillor Valiquette. It's been seconded by Councillor Palmetier. The resolution has been read by the mayor. Deputy Mayor Demarche, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Palmetier, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Fleeler, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Valiquette, how do you vote?
Against.
Mayor DiGenova, how do you vote?
against,
The motion is defeated.
thank you. Okay. Now we'll move on to community development. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the community development parks and recreation update, please? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh, and thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Over to you, Brittany.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Before. Okay, okay. I just want to make sure you were talking. Okay, okay.
Before I ask if anybody has any questions with our report, I did want to highlight item number 4. So you're all provided with a letter that was written by Foundations Youth Center and the Tweed Lions Club, which will be published as correspondence at the next council meeting. Essentially, just for context for those listening, the letter is requesting permission or I guess support from council for these organizations to run a skate loaning program during public skating times. Foundations and the Lions Club have worked really hard on this. I want to say that they've done all of the work on this and we're just here to support them as community development. But essentially, they've put together a really good proposal to kind of reduce any financial barriers for youth and children to kind of stay active, stay social, and they just want permission to do this program at the arena. There's no financial burden on the municipality at all. And our department is looking into supporting them in the way of writing a grant to help them achieve the items that they need to be successful with this program. So I'm just looking for maybe the support of council in this meeting that you're okay with moving forward with this.
And I believe you've also indicated in the letter that they are looking at the free skate periods that we have, like to make this available to the.
Yeah,
the
sorry. So I should say that it will be free for those looking to borrow the skates. And even, you know, people having family in Tweed and they want to do something on the weekend, but they didn't bring their skates. It's just
Okay.
an option
Sure.
for everybody to kind of stay more active. So with the grant, there's an opportunity to kind of have some student employment opportunity as well. We can kind of build that into the piece of the puzzle. But yes, it would be free. And if we are not successful with a grant, they are happy to move forward with fundraising and seeking donations in order to get the program up and moving, and run it volunteer based. So
Okay, well, thank you very much. Yes, Councillor Valiquette.
I just want to take my hats off to you guys. I went down to that on the weekend and went for a couple laps, and it was a lot of fun. Don't know if I'm going back personally because I feared for my life, but it did harken back to days of my youth. And I'm sure that once it gets established, there would be a whole lot more people going on a regular basis.
yeah, so for the roller skating program, so we're talking about, I should have
Oh,
been more
sorry.
clear.
This is the
This is for
Oh,
ice
skate
skating,
line.
ice skating.
Ice skating, sorry.
But we are hoping to expand it so that we can have more recreational programming in the summertime as well. So because this specific grant that we're aiming for this round is for piloting programming, and it can have quite a large opportunity. We're looking for not only doing this programming for ice skating during the winter, but also other things like roller skating to have free rentals or loans for that programming as well.
Yeah, so my bad, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, that's great. So you said you will make the letter, which we have, that you provided as part of the general correspondence for the next meeting. And thank you for working with both groups who contributed a significant amount to our community and in particular to youth. So that's great. So thank you very much. Okay, you want to go through the rest of is there anything else? Anybody have any other questions of Brittany on her report? Thank you very much for being with us tonight, Brittany. Appreciate it. Okay. Be it resolved that council receive the Community Development Parks and Recreation Report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the jailhouse agreement, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler.
Mayor, did you know?
Yes, sir.
I believe Community Development was looking for a support resolution of council for that previous.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. Okay, there it is. Okay, could I move in a seconder for the free skate program that we just talked about? Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Be it resolved that council support the free skate program. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Lucas. Okay, back to the jailhouse agreement that I had a move in a second. I had Councillor Valiquette and Councillor Fleeler on the jailhouse. Councillor Valiquette and Councillor Fleeler, not a problem. Any questions on the agreement as tabled? Seeing none. Be it resolved, the council received the jailhouse agreement report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Can we have a move and a second to table the fire department update, please? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Lamarche. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Over to you, Derek.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, through the Mayor. You've got my report in front of you. There's just one thing I just kind of want to update is the number 3 there with the department receiving a lot of calls over the last week with the smoke and stuff coming from our thing. It's just so everybody knows. And I know we tried to get it out as much as we could to people, and I know it's coming through. We had a few days there with pretty high levels of smoke coming through the area. You could smell it, you could taste it. It was bad. And just to, you know, just so people know like that, when you do call in, try to if you do call in, look at some of the social media if we can, whatever, type that or call directly to the municipal office was notified about it. We did get several calls out for 911 calls. And people were smelling this, and the guys were responding. We did get a jump on that rate quickly with our dispatch. We had a big meeting with St. Catharines dispatch to, you know, notify them that, you know,
make sure that you can actually see, and it's unfortunately on that kind of situation because it was area wide, basically all over Hastings County, and all over Canada pretty much. But is that the people, it was kind of threw a lot of people off because it was so
Yeah.
intense and everybody thought it was, your next door neighbor's property or whatever type thing. We run a bunch of calls, and then the next day tried to have the same calls. And just, it was kind of one of the things that, we have to see that, if you could see where the smoke was coming from, because I mean, you can never, there is situations where there was fires. We did go out, run out to them, but just so people would know from that situation that it was it was a busy couple days for dispatch. They were extremely busy. I got a lot of phone calls. I had them call me if there was any big concerns or whatever. People thought there was actually fires, that we would send fire prevention out, or myself, or ground crews out to check if there was any fires or whatever. But just notifying if we could. It's still going very wildly in the west, Quebec, Northern Ontario, BC and stuff. And we get the right weather again, it's good. We could have the same situation here in the next few weeks. So just so everybody's is aware of that we could have that, and just, keep an eye on the social media. I know Cindy and Brent, we're very good at keeping stuff on our social media pages there. We have it on our website. And just listen if you can to the radio and whatever. I know not everybody does that all the time, but as much as you can, if there's a situation like that, it is pretty much publicized across that, and it would really eliminate a lot of false calls for us to 911, because I know our dispatch would run right off their feet. Like they literally had tons and tons of calls from all over Hastings County. So I know it's a bad situation, and I know we had some days when you woke up and it was pretty eerie looking. There are a couple of days we had, and but just if we could try to even if you phone the office, I know the girls were busy knowing that, but we do notify them if there is a situation like that, because we do get reports from the MNR that come across and show the smoke patterns and stuff coming across Canada or coming from the northern areas and stuff that do that. But that was my only input for that. I mean, it went besides that, everything would go well, and it's a bad time for a lot of people with breathing situations, stuff like that. Just recommend that you try to stay inside as much as you can and do that. But it was pretty bad this time. So.
Well, thank you very much. Is it possible for Brittany, you and Cindy to do an article for the newspaper? Again, another way of reaching out, just to telling people about the situation and whatnot, for those who aren't on social media.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
and the other thing is, I know you're going for a new fire truck. Can we put tariffs on Doug Ford to get us
On the
some money
smoke?
for all the smoke coming over here?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So anyways, but no, they've been, I know the firefighters have been going crazy in the north, and they've been run right off their feet. So it's hopefully we get some more of the stuff we had today, and hopefully get some of it. So
Are they getting it up there? Do you know?
not enough.
That's a terrible situation,
It's a
and I
bad
do feel sorry
situation
for our
up north.
firefighters.
Yeah, very, very, they're very poor. So
Okay, thank you
Yep.
very much for that update.
thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, Councillor Fleeler.
If I'm offline, just let me know. But a lot of this is created by environmental issues that have been ignored by Mr. Trump himself. And if we would try to work these environmental concerns, like a lot of these fires are lightning strikes
Mhm.
because of the change in the weather. The weather has changed so much in the last little while. Anyway, I'll quit right there, but
But you're right.
that's what it
Yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
environmental
Yeah.
concerns that we need to administer and look after so that we don't get in a worse position than we're in.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Okay, thank you. I did everybody accept that, right?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, be it resolved, the council receive the fire department update report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, I'm moving a seconder to table the facility manager update of July 21st, 2026, please. Moving a second. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette, and thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Over to you, Jim.
Through your worship, I've identified some of the items I've been working over the last several months. I've been really busy. We've installed the water treatment equipment at Tenolite Hall and daycare. We've arranged for inspections and engineering evaluation report to validate the install of the equipment, which will have to be sent over to the Ministry of Environment. And we're working on arrangements for the water treatment service agreement for Tenolite, Queensborough, Thomasburg, with Ontario Clean Water Agency. We've established a pest control program at Hungerford Hall in Welch's due to the rodent issues that we've been having there. We're finalizing the refrigeration service agreement contract with Simcoe Refrigeration. I've been reviewing the arena refrigeration system, and we've had to register 3 pressure vessel devices with technical standards and safety, TSSA, to meet compliance with regulations. We've arranged for a certificate of inspection for pressure vessel devices with our insurance and TSSA per regulations. And we've also arranged for a certificate of inspections. I just mentioned that, so we'll go on to the next one. We've had, I'm currently assessing and reviewing our facility maintenance repair at each of our facilities, which will help me look at our service agreements going forward. We've completed the air conditioning repairs at Actina Light Hall. And we've completed emergency repairs to the roof due to the storm damage that we've had recently. And we've also done some service and repairs to our air conditioning and HVAC units on our rooftops at this building. And I'm currently reviewing several funding opportunities with the federal funding, which could provide up to $1 million for eligible projects for facility improvements, specifically looking at the arena and possibly the arena roof. And also working with Johnson's Controls for their energy opportunities for funding. Today, I just found out there's possibility of a $20,000 grant funding for an energy study, and our arena would fit the criteria for that. So thank you. That's some of the items I've been looking at.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for that update, Jim. Be it resolved that council receive the facility manager update report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Could I move in a second to table the animal control officer, June 2026 animal control and livestock investigation report, please? Thank you, Councillor Fleeler, and thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Any questions on said report? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the June 2026 animal control and livestock investigation report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Policy review. Okay, Cindy, is this you've asked that we defer this because there are further changes that you would like to make, and so we're not going to entertain this at this time. Is that correct?
So, thank you, Your Worship. Yes. So the reason why I wanted to defer this, there's 2 reasons actually. One is because I understand that council didn't really get very many days to review it. It's only a couple of days, and there's a lot of information. And I want to make sure that council has enough time to review everything that's in these documents. The second reason is because there's some additional information has come to light with regards to the 3rd policy, which is the cancellation, reduction, and refund policy. And I want to be absolutely certain that I've included all the relevant information that needs to be in this policy for council to review. So it's a matter of allowing you more time, and it's just giving me a little bit more time to follow up on a couple of issues with the 3rd policy.
Okay.
Yeah, so through the mayor, as soon as the treasurer can get us those changes, that'd be good, but I so that we can review it, like she said, there's a lot here to consider, so I would make the motion that we defer.
Okay, so could I have a seconder on that? Thank you, Councilor Valiquette. All in favor of deferring to the next meeting? Thank you, and thank you very much for all the effort you put into it so far.
All right, thank you.
Okay, committee board reports. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table zoning amendment D14-03-2026 Brinson and D 14-04-2026 Palmetier. I'm moving a seconder well, I guess, first of all, they're different, they're in the same title, but, okay, so the first one will be the, let me just see, Brinson one. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Any questions on that first one? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the zoning amendment public meeting report as presented, and further that council consider passing bylaw 2026-47 for zoning amendment D 14-03-2026 Brinson. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the second zoning amendment, which is the Palmetier one? Could I have a mover and a seconder to get that on the table? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on the second amendment? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the zoning amendment public meeting report as presented, and further that council consider passing bylaw 2026-48 for zoning amendment D 14-04-2026 Palmetier. All in favor? Thank you. River Street Subdivision Committee report. Could I have a mover and a seconder to get that on the table, please? Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche. Okay. We have a resolution. I'll just read it. Be it resolved that council receive the committee report titled River Street West Subdivision as presented, and further that on the recommendation of the Committee of Adjustment Planning and Council, direct staff to uphold the recommended 100-meter source water protection buffer as recommended by Quinte Conservation from the village wellhead in the review and processing of the proposed River Street West subdivision application. And further that staff be directed to proceed with the subdivision review in accordance with this direction and to advise the applicant accordingly. I think we've talked about this, and we've expressed our deep concern and regret that this was not brought to the attention of the proponents earlier in the staging process, because they've incurred significant costs in proceeding to where they are now. However, I think it's incumbent upon us to ensure that we protect the wellhead, and then that follow through with the recommendation that's tabled. Any other comments or questions? Yes.
Through the mayor, just to the, I guess, just to whoever wants. There's a bunch of other requests and questions about, you know, buffer zones and drainage and enforcement and all this kind of stuff. Is that part of that whole review process as well?
Through the mayor to Deputy Mayor DeMarce, you're referring to the position presented by Ainley Group to mitigate some of the risks. Is that
No, I
correct?
was looking more about, I was actually looking closer at Aquas, about, you know, sealed runoffs and line ponds and, you know, and sump pumps was something and building below the water table and all those things I was reading in there. Is that stuff that gets reviewed as part of the whole process as well?
Yeah, through the mayor, the Committee of Adjustment Planning reviewed those comments from Aqua, and staff have met with Aqua as well. So yes, that's been taken into consideration for this committee report today.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions, comments? Okay, I've read the motion. We've discussed it. All in favor? Okay. Could I get a move and a seconder to table bylaw number 2026-46? A revised bylaw to provide standards for the maintenance and occupancy of property in the municipality of Tweed and repeal bylaw 2001-02 and bylaw 2015-29. I'm moving a seconder. Thank you very much, Jason. Okay, bye now. Move in a seconder, please. Thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche, and thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Any questions? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-46, a revised bylaw to provide standards for the maintenance and occupancy of property in the municipality of Tweed, be read at first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table bylaw number 2026-47? A bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 -103 Brinson Road, please. I'll move in a second. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-47 to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 for 103 Brinson Road be read a first, second, and third and final time, pass and sign and seal in open council this 24th day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a second to table bylaw number 2026-48? A bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30, 1543 Crookston Road. Move in a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Any questions on said bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-48 to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 for 543 Crookston Road be read a first, second, and third and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a second to table bylaw number 2026-49, a bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 to remove the holding symbol from the subject lands described as part lot 9, concession 8, part 3 on plan 21R-16 960 Hungerford. I'm moving to seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Any questions on that particular holding removal? Seeing none. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-47 to amend the comprehensive zoning bylaw to 2012-30 to remove the holding symbol H from the subject lands described as part lot 9, concession 8, part 3 on plan 21R-16 960 Hungerford be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table bylaw number 2026-50, a bylaw to authorize municipality of Tweed to enter into a development agreement to be registered on title a condition of severance number B6/25. A mover and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Are there any questions on that bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-50 to authorize municipality of Tweed to enter into a development agreement to be registered on title as a condition of severance number B6/25 be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Can I have a mover and a second to table bylaw number 2026-51? A bylaw to convey certain property on Hungerford Road being part of Lot 12, Concession 5, Hungerford Township described as Part 1, unregistered plan 21R-26929 for road widening purposes. I'm moving a secretary. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-51 to convey certain property on Old Hungerford Road for widening purposes be read a first, second, and third and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover for bylaw number 2026-52? A bylaw to convey certain property on Old Troy Road being part of Lot 11, Concession 11, Hungerford Township, described as Part 1 and Part 2 unregistered plan 21R-26994 for road widening purposes. So moving a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-52 to convey certain property on Old Troy Road for road widening purposes be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table bylaw number 2026-53? A bylaw to convey certain property on Old Hungerford Road being part of Lot 13, Concession 6, Hungerford Township, described as Part 1 unregistered plan 21R-26 933 for road widening purposes. I'm moving a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler, sorry. And be it resolved that bylaw number 2026-53 to convey certain property on Old Hungerford Road for road widening purposes be read a first, second, third, final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Items for consideration. Could I have a mover and a seconder? I will read this from Thomas McMillan, Clear Lane. Thomas McMillan, a landowner on Clear Lane, submitted a request to formally document the cooperative consensus expressed during the June 23rd, 2026 council meeting to ensure a clear and neutral administrative record for provincial planning authorities. He states that his primary objective is simply to ensure that public record accurately reflects a mutual deference to the senior planning expertise at the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, which ultimately supports the best administrative and financial interests of all parties involved. Mr. McMillan has submitted the following for consideration. Whereas registered plan of subdivision HSR-198 is an established historical plan of record within the municipality of Tweed. And whereas the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing proposes the overarching provincial authority and specialized technical mandate under Section 47 of the Planning Act to conduct comprehensive site reviews and issue ministers' zoning orders, MZOs. And whereas the municipality of Tweed values the efficient coordination of local and provincial planning frameworks, recognizing that deferring site-specific technical evaluations to senior ministerial staff supports the optimal use of municipal resources. And therefore be it resolved that Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Tweed formally defers to the independent review, jurisdiction and authority of the Province of Ontario and Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing regarding the active proposed MZO application for lands with registration plan of subdivision HSR-198, and further that should the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing determine is it appropriate to exercise its provincial authority to issue a zoning order for these lands, and the corporation of the municipality has no objection and will not impede the provincial determination. Could I have a mover and a seconder to get that on the table, please? Thank you, Councilor Valiquette. Thank you, Councilor Palmetier. I think like we had expressed, I think back in January, that we wouldn't prepare a letter of support. But I don't think we wouldn't and we never could impede the provincial government if they want to do an investigation. They can on their own. So I don't feel comfortable supporting this as presented. Your thoughts?
Well, Your Worship, I made a resolution and I won't read it at the present time, but I want to record a vote on this as well. But,
Oh, sure.
I don't think there's any way that we can't, if the government asks us questions to, there's no way that we can't support the Ontario government in their ability to go through this application. So I don't think we can support it.
Okay, fine.
Over.
No.
Just thinking.
Okay. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Mayor, this is again before us, and you read through this again, and there's no new information from the last time. And last time we said the same thing we just received and filed.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just lost it a moment.
Are you suggesting we just receive and file that?
Well, we have a motion in front of us that's already been moved, so we'd have to defeat that, but I mean, the alternate is just defeat the motion and that'd be the same thing, I think.
The other thing is we can also say, like, you know, we could put forth our own motion that we will not impede the government. Like the government will do what it's going to do. And
Well, I think we already communicated that once. It seems to be repetitive here.
no, we didn't actually say we wouldn't impede the government. We just said we wouldn't provide a letter of support for the motion back in January, if I'm correct, Lucas. Did we say?
I can pull that.
I don't think at any level we can impede the government.
No, that's right. So we're just saying we will not impede.
But we're not gonna give them a letter of no objection.
No, not at all.
The motion that was passed in January was be it resolved council that council receives the request for the MZO application support resolution report as presented, and further that council does not provide a support resolution for Mr. McMillan's minister zoning order request, and further that staff are directed to correspond with Mr. McMillan regarding council's direction.
So I think what I'm suggesting is we just send another one saying that, because this is all about that we will not interfere. I don't like the legalese associated with what is presented here. So we just say that we just do a resolution that we will not impede the province.
Or Mayor, we could just vote on the resolutions in front of us.
Oh, no, we'll vote on that, turn it down, and then come back with a new, what I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out. the staff is
Your
spending an awful
worship,
lot of time on
I
this.
think we do have to have a final response, but
Yeah.
I do believe that with this response, council has to be final and that this is our point.
Mm.
That's where we stand. This moves
Mhm.
any further information or contact, move to the province, do the next step.
Yeah.
If that's what your intention is. And I think we just need to make it clear, concise and move on so that staff time can go towards other issues in the municipality.
I agree with you 100%, but unfortunately, it's not as easy as that at the end of the day.
Oh, I know.
But, okay, so I would like, well, let's vote on this motion first. And Jim, Councilor Fielder, you said you wanted a recorded vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion, again, I lost. Okay, so I've read the motion.
So Councillor Fleeler has requested a recorded vote.
That's correct.
It's been moved by Councillor Valiquette, seconded by Councillor Palmetier. The resolution as submitted by Mr. McMillan has been read in full by Mayor DeGenova for the record. We'll call the vote. Deputy Mayor Demarche, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Palmetier, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Fleeler, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Valiquette, how do you vote?
Against.
Mayor DeGenova, how do you vote?
Against.
The motion is defeated.
Okay, and now can I put forth sorry, go ahead.
Do you want me to move a motion?
Yes,
Your
if
worship?
you would, please.
You're better at putting these together now.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
The council responds to the individual that we will not impede the province,
That's it.
period.
We want to say that we won't reply to this?
I
And
don't
that-
think we have a choice on this. Unfortunately, that's not the nature of the game. We can.
Well,
But-
you could say that we're not gonna reply with respect to the MZO or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, that's not our decision.
Well, okay, I guess we can make it something that will not come back to this table. But unfortunately, stuff will continue to go through to staff.
Mayor, we just had a response back to him and now it's back in our lap again.
Mhm.
And like Councillor Palmetier has said, unless we add finality and just say, this is the end of it, and if that's gonna be your motion, be done with it. We've already responded once. I don't know how many times we keep responding to the same person with the same response.
No, but unfortunately, although we make that motion, that does not mean that it does not come back. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, it's just not legal. I mean, he can keep coming, Mr. McMillan can keep coming back. So I want to assure him that we are not going to impede the province, nor would we be able to. But I mean, let's put forth something to show him that we're not going to impede the province but we're not.
Not going any further
No,
with or at this time.
No.
Any future decisions rest with the vote.
So. If this continues, I will present my resolution.
it can't continue because we're not going to.
Well.
Yeah,
it-
you're
like-
right.
Like, and is it a thing of harassment? Like, I mean.
The CEO was
You try
taking
to-
action, certain action to deal with this and.
You give the person all the information, the information that was provided was plain and clear. And
Unlike what we're providing Lucas right now.
I know.
exactly.
I have a motion from Councillor Palmetier, be it resolved that council responds to Mr. McMillan that the municipality of Tweed will not impede the province. I don't know if,
That's right. Just impede the province in their investigation. That's,
Your worship, will we add,
Sure.
and the municipality of Tweed will not be responding to any further information on this topic?
don't think-
Doesn't mean that we can't.
I don't think we
We
can
can't.
say.
Okay,
that. Yeah, I
no
don't
problem.
think we
I'm
can
fine
say
with
that.
the way that the deputy clerk has it written.
Good. Okay. And
need a seconder.
could I have a seconder for that, please? Council Fleeler, okay? And all in favor? Thank you. Thank you. Could I have a move and a seconder to table Sheila Dodd's British Child Awareness Day request to proclaim September 28th, 2026 as a British Home Child Awareness Day in the municipality of Tweed? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said request? Seeing none. Be it resolved that council proclaims September 28th, 2026 as British Home Child Awareness Day in the municipality of Tweed, and further that the proclamation be promoted in the municipal news column and the municipal website and on social media, and further that the fountain at Tweed Memorial Park be lit that evening in support of the proclamation. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the request for fees for brush and waste site? Due to recent weather conditions and severe winds, which resulted in a number of trees being taken down on properties in the municipality of Tweed, a request has been received from a resident to waive the brush fees at the waste site. Fees for brush at the waste site have previously been waived by council after the ice storm of 2025. The user fee bylaw includes a charge for brush of $20 for a half ton or a smaller load and 40 for a dump truck. This fee is offset by the cost of processing of the tub grinding. Could I have a move in a second to get that on the table? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. I think in the past that we have done this, and I would feel comfortable in waiving it again. I think there was talk about a limit of 30 days or something. So yeah, so was that your thought on?
That was my thought, but
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Demarche said-
Mayor, we have did it with other extreme weather events, and I think 30 days is lots within certain parameters, and because, you know, we're in the midst of limited burn bans and stuff, so it's the only true way they can get rid of the brush. So I'm in favor of a 30 day.
Okay, yeah, okay, everybody? Okay. Be it resolved that council waive the fees for those impacted. No, you're gonna say something better. Go ahead.
No, not better. I'm just wondering, and rather than 30 days, an end date. So whatever that
Oh, the
works
end
out
date.
to, so it's just
Okay,
clear for clarity.
August 21st. Or no, it'd be effective tonight, so
Why did we just say August 31st?
August 31st, yeah.
Okay. August 31st? Now wait till you get that all set up for us, Lucas. Ready? Be it resolved that council waive the brush fees at the waste site until August 31st, 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Notice of motion. Okay, the Deputy Mayor Demarche brought forward a notice of motion at the June 2nd, 2026 council meeting requesting council to consider rescinding resolution 190, reconsideration for surface treated roadways. At the June 23rd, 26 council meeting, Deputy Mayor Demarche explained the rationale for the notice of motion. Rationale for his notice of motion, citing feedback from residents who propose reverting the roads to gravel. He also expressed, given the significant cost of walls, the issue should be addressed during budget deliberations. He emphasized the need for further review and a broader discussion on the ongoing maintenance of both gravel and hardtop roads, including considerations such as high traffic volumes and areas prone to washouts on hills. Additionally, he noted that roads with only a few problem spots may not require complete reconstruction, suggesting the alternative repair methods could be explored. The manager of public works provided a staff report at the June 23rd, 2026 council meeting regarding the subject roads for council consideration. So I wanted to do a little preamble on, we have two motions that are looking at this one and then another one that are looking at suspending right now. So I just wanted to put that into context, and Deputy Mayor Demarche raised his first, and that's why it's first on the list for us to consider, and then the second one we'll consider afterwards. So can I get a mover and a seconder to table? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche, and thank you, Councillor Fleeler. So are there any questions on this particular? Yes, go ahead, Councillor or Deputy Mayor.
Through the mayor, I guess it was pretty self-explanatory in the wording here. And I've always maintained that, you know, there could be alternate ways and fund and money available, but we won't know that unless we're at the budget. And neither pulverization or repair of the roads was ever in the original budget, so we can't explore them at this time. And I think it's important too that the residents have reached out in large numbers and want us to take a second look at this, and I think they deserve that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Yes, Councillor Palmetier.
Your worship, I don't think it's appropriate to say it's not in the budget to take it up when it's with the grader and the grader passes on the roads regardless. However, the one thing that I think we're ignoring is we're treating them all like they're the same road. Morton Road, that stretch of hardtop is nothing but a hindrance. The amount of traffic that goes over that short piece and it affects the rest of the road as people come off that piece of hardtop onto the gravel portion. Because of the disrepair of the hardtop, it affects the gravel as things bounce and impact it. So, we're treating them all as the same and they aren't. The other thing too is that some of the roads, some sections of road, like I said, they're not all the same. We're not going to be able to do anything with until they're either pulverized or removed. So, or like with the grader turned back to gravel. They will need that base to start over. So it's not like we have the option of putting a cap on. The concern is that they are, well, we already saw, we almost had an incident on Rapids Road trying to repair the road. I'm not saying not to put these or look at these for budget to bring back. I just think that we really need to the council needs to remember when we're voting on this, that there are areas of these roads in question that are dangerous, and we're not going to cap them. Like, we're going to have to start over. We're too far gone. It's nobody's fault necessarily. We don't have the funds, and it's because our structures have changed, as we've talked about many times with how the funding works. But we are the ones in charge of making the hard decisions, because every one of us wants what's in the road that's in front of our house to be the perfect road. And if that was how it was, then, the municipality wouldn't function. We have to look out as a community. The individuals that have came to us are looking at themselves, and absolutely, it's their investment in their home and everything else. But, we're the ones in charge of the tough decisions. So I think we've really done a disservice by blanketing these roads altogether.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes,
They're the mayor, but at the end of the day, we don't know what we can fix or what we can replace or anything when we're mid-budget cycle and no money to do anything. So I really feel strongly that we need to look at this when the budget's and the money's in front of us, because even if we want to fix this road, we may have the money in the budget, but we don't know that because we're in mid-budget cycle. So I think that's why I was adamant that we take up to budget.
okay, thank you. Yes, Councilor Fluler.
Your worship, there are sections of the roads that are in disrepair, really bad disrepair, but we can't turn, I don't think we can turn the whole road back to gravel. There are parts of these things. We need to progressively maintain the roads until maybe we can secure some funding. But as we know, we put a patch on the Downey Rapids Road on the far end. I mean, so that's part of the main maintenance that we tried to do, but we need to really find materials that we can use that's gonna last. Like we've been presented with different things. But I don't think that we should turn the roads completely into gravel. And I do agree with Councillor Palmetier about Morton Road. That was originally hardtop because of that business. There was a cheese factory there years ago. It's been gone for a long time. But why would we maintain that little chunk? Like I could see doing that little piece, but to turn them completely into gravel, I don't know. We need to put a plan in place, and I think we need to bring it back at budget time.
Okay, but thank you very much, everyone. I do agree with what I'm hearing, but also I agree that if there's certain things that need to be done, we should be doing them. Okay, if we know that it's a hazard if we don't, and I do think that there were the roads manager did said that there's certain parts of roads that wouldn't be done, like pulverized or whatever, because they're still in good condition, or due to the nature of the slope or whatever, that we wouldn't want to do that because roads could wash out. So like there is that mindset in place right now. So the motion that Deputy Mayor DeMarch's table is to defer any of this discussion until budget in 2027. So that's the motion we're going to vote on. So you've tabled your motion.
Can I have a recorded vote, Mayor, please?
You bet you can. And Lucas, I'll leave it to you and I'll read the, I will read the, well, I've already read the motion and then we'll,
I can read it.
no, I've already read it. Isn't it?
I don't believe so.
Be it resolved that council receive that one?
1 second.
Okay, yeah, I can read it. It's just the last part there, okay?
So-
Be it resolved that council receive, yes.
We're just having a thought. So as I read over this motion, in its when you look at it, ultimately, it's very similar to the next motion.
Totally.
I think though, the next motion actually puts in or starts us on the road of finding solutions. This is just kind of a blanket, let's stop and wait for the budget cycle to come around. But I think in consideration of our residents, the sooner we can start on this, the better.
That's fine. So the motion is be it resolved that council receive the consideration for surface treated roadways motion as presented. And further that council rescind resolution 190 directing staff to proceed with the conversion of all identified surface treated roads totaling 9.3 kilometers back to gravel standard. And further that the issue be deferred to the 2027 budget. Over to you.
Deputy Mayor DeMarche has requested a recorded vote. It's been moved by Deputy Mayor DeMarche and seconded by Councillor Fleeler. Mayor DeGenova has just read the motion for the record. Deputy Mayor DeMarche, how do you vote?
In favor.
Councillor Palmetier, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Fleeler, how do you vote?
In favor.
Councillor Valiquette, how do you vote?
Against.
Mayor DeGenova, how do you vote?
Against.
The motion is defeated 2-3.
Okay. Okay, I guess this is your motion, Councillor Valiquette, so you will be the mover, but I will read it. Councillor Valiquette brought forward a notice of motion at the June 23rd, 2026 council meeting for council consideration of the following. Place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel until staff obtain current traffic count data. Direct staff to begin developing an impartial assessment tool that incorporates relevant information about each road, including safety considerations and potential liability issues based on its condition 5 years after installation. Direct staff to immediately purchase traffic counting equipment at a cost not to exceed 15,000 funding by repurposing the 2026 capital dollars allocated for the electronic sign, and direct staff to report back to council on the development of a policy for converting surface treated roads to gravel. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please, to table that? Oh, yes, thank you, Councillor Valiquette as a mover and Councillor Palmetier as the seconder. A discussion. Do you want me to read, Lucas, that all of this down below now or after we have a discussion?
It should be read now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas on April 28th, 2026, council passed the Public Works Report Consideration for Surface Treated Roadways. And whereas the report recommended converting certain failing surface treated roads back to gravel, including sections of Rapids Road, Lynch and Labarge Road, Morton Road, and Palmetier Road. And whereas the recommendations were based on the 2024 roads needs study, which identified these roads as class 6 roads with low traffic volumes. And whereas the municipality does not currently have a comprehensive program that evaluates the long-term viability of maintaining roads in their existing condition, hardtop, tar and chip, or gravel, no one that considers the varied uses of these roads, including residential, commercial, and tourism related needs. And whereas the municipality does not have traffic counting equipment and current traffic data relies on historical counts And whereas the 2026 capital budget approved 15,000 for the purchase of an electronic sign, and whereas council has previously discussed that an electronic sign may not be suitable for the municipality, and whereas the 15,000 would be sufficient to purchase traffic counting equipment for the Public Works Department, and whereas decisions regarding the conversion of surface treated roads to gravel should be based on current accurate traffic data, and therefore be resolved that council place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel until staff obtain current traffic count data, and further, that staff begin developing an impartial assessment tool that incorporates relevant information about each road, including safety considerations and potential liability issues based on its condition 5 years after installation, and further, that staff immediately purchase traffic counting equipment at a cost not to exceed 15,000, funded by the repurposing of the 2026 capital dollars allocated for the electronic sign, and further, that staff report back to council on the development of a policy and converting surface treated roads to gravel. That's the resolution. It's been moved and seconded, open for discussion. Yes, Councillor Palmetier.
Your worship, I absolutely believe that the 15,000 should be transferred from the electronic sign budget in order to purchase this equipment. However, I still believe that we aren't trusting the manager in his capacity. And I understand that council makes the final decision. I'm not trying to disrespect council, but I also know that part of an issue with the municipal council is the time that it takes. As we can see right now, we've already taken 3 months on this topic. The roads haven't fixed themselves in that amount of time. So I think that there's some situations where we go from potentially dangerous or unsafe situations, and we delay that by coming through the municipal avenue. And I understand it has to. I'm not saying it doesn't have to, but as you can see, we've pushed this along. Again, I think it's partially because we've clumped all the roads together, and that's why. So that's the only the issue I have with the current motion, is that we're continuing to delay an issue, and I still firmly believe that most of these sections of roads would not be able to have a cap put on them. They would need to, we would need to start over.
Yeah.
And so so that's my issue with the motion.
Okay, we'll come back to you then if you want to amend it after. Okay, anybody else? Yes, Deputy Mayor Marsh.
So this motion, other than the first part of it, is very similar to mine, just putting hold on it, but the rest of it, I have some questions about an assessment tool and the development of a policy. Now, the $15,000 purchase of a traffic counter was discussed in April, and council at that time felt it was not necessary, and that should be pushed off the budget for the same reasons that I'm arguing that, you know, this whole thing should be put off. But I do want to ask, you know, you can answer, you can rebuttal after. What specific information are we looking for with regards to a development of a policy to do this? Who's going to perform the assessment, and what's this going to cost us? I'd almost argue that the money we spend, the time on this, the 15,000, the assessment, developing a policy. At this point, if we're going to spend any money, let's fix the roads, get it to budget, and then decide what we're going to do.
Sorry, I need you to clarify that a bit more.
So what I'm asking Councillor Valiquette is, in this policy, what is it that he would be expecting to see?
So I think I alluded to it earlier. So as I sit around this table, and again, not to disrespect anybody's previous experience in life, but the manager of the department is the person who, at the end of the day, I'm going to turn to for the ultimate kind of guidance that I feel I need here to discuss this particular topic. So on top of that, when we ask our manager to provide us with that information, it is all somewhat subjective to his observations, which isn't wrong, but I feel that if we don't provide him with other tools, such as a traffic count or establishing some sort of policy similar to OSIM, what we do with our bridges, that would be only in his benefit as well as residents' benefit to know exactly what the issues are. So a subjective component of that may be potholes. You could go down Morton Road, pick any of the roads we've identified, and a certain percentage of that road is going to have potholes on them. It may be 20, it may be 50%. Of those potholes, some of them may be significant in the sense that they may cause damage to vehicles. They may cause vehicles to go off the road. They may cause something significant to happen. We don't ever look at that kind of stuff. Brian, the manager doesn't come here and tell us that. We need somebody, we need an opportunity for him to provide us with that information, and in turn, providing the resident on the road with that information to know how we arrive at a decision that's going to affect them. As far as cost for this kind of thing goes, again, it could be a summer student job. Again, I don't know. I would rely on Ryan to develop something that would help guide us, but it doesn't have to be expensive, again, because some of what we would do would be subjective. And it's always going to be subjective, but that's why we have our subject matter expert to turn to and to follow their direction if it's the right direction for our municipality. And the funding actually, the $15,000 comes from the sign, would be used obviously by Public Works, but could also be used by our Community Development Department in substantiating traffic counts for people who want to bring industry or business to town, to say that we are having X amount of vehicles come through at any particular point in time. And then again, I just would like him to come back and say, this is what goes on in, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel, but this is what goes on in municipality A, B, or C. We can adapt something like this that's fairly revenue neutral, and we can move forward and provide everybody with information that's relevant to the roads. That's fairly, I think, succinct. I think that answers all of the deputy's questions.
Councilor Slater.
So your worship, we turned down this $15,000 option before. We've done road traffic counts on roads for years and years and years, using the device that Ron referred to, the I think it's an air driven thing. The two straps that go across the road. And I don't know where all that equipment came from. I don't know where it went. I don't know why we can't continue to use that. The other thing that we've noted that there's 9.23 kilometers, 10 kilometers of roads that's going to be ripped up. I don't see the significance of ripping up a total road, as Councilor Palmetier alluded to. We need maybe to fix the bad spot for now and put a plan in place. We've never discussed the opportunity that the community development had to purchase an electronic sign. We didn't talk that.
They don't want it anymore.
It was in the budget. We didn't talk it. I don't remember talking that. There's lots of different items that we haven't talked about in the budget.
I think
So-
Cindy had said that the sign is more of a pain than anything for them to.
But did we discuss it? We haven't discussed it. So I don't know why we would be dipping into another department's purse to, support things for someone else. But the and like I said, we've had traffic counts on roads for years. I don't know where that equipment's gone. Like it's the strip that goes across the road. I think it's an air thing. I don't know how it works. But
Ryan, are you aware of any traffic counting device that we have?
I'm not aware of any traffic devices we've had. I don't know where these counts are that Councillor Fleeler speaks of. I believe the last ones we did were in 2014, so I'm not sure where we're going with this.
well, Al used to do them continuously on different roads. and there should be record of that somewhere. Anyway. I can't see just ripping up a whole road just because there's a bad spot in the middle.
Right now, though, the motion here is about purchasing the piece of equipment. Okay, we're talking about before we would do any of ripping up roads, we want to get the information. My understanding is from the motion, and I agree with a number of councillors around the table, that we looked to guidance and advice from our public works manager. He brings to this a certain degree of credibility and understanding. We all carry our own little insights on how things should be, but there are experts in the area, and he is our particular expert in this regard. But I think what Councillor Valiquette is saying is, in order to substantiate and support when our roads manager comes to us, we need to provide him with the statistics that will help support what he wants to do. And that's why this particular motion is coming forward to purchase this particular equipment. Now, already, I think the motion said up to 15,000, and already the CIO has talked about numbers that are lower than 15,000. The other thing is that when we talk about budgets, we talk about a municipal budget. It's dollars to be spent in the municipality for where we need fit. And we are not impeded from reallocating money within that budget to other sources where we think it's going to be of important need and helping us make decisions that are better for the council. Just because we allocate money in a budget cycle doesn't mean that that money will always stay there. We ultimately can decide where we want to shift that. And I think the motion here right now is to shift that 15,000, which we're not going to need that whole amount, to support this particular resolution. Again, with nothing really happening until we get the information, other than the roads that are really bad that need to be addressed, they should be done immediately. That is what I'm hearing from the discussions around the table. So that's what this motion is. So what I would like us to do, are we going to vote on this motion?
I want to say something.
Jeff, please.
So Mayor, I kind of got a little bit of an answer about the policy. I'm going back to the policy here. You kind of alluded to potholes but this motion clearly says direct staff to report back to council on the development of a policy for converted surface treating roads back to gravel. Now, what I'm really confused on is what would be in that policy, and whether does that include council input, and does that include public input on the condition of their own roads, and at what point and what thresholds who's going to make the thresholds? Because I'll tell you, any policy that would see a pretty good traffic road like Rapids Road be ground back up should really concern anybody on a class 6 road. And so I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's in this report. Are we going to bypass council's decision? Because in my mind, if you make a policy, you don't need any further direction. You can just go ahead and do it at that point. Or is that policy going to include council direction? Is it going to include public input and budget considerations? That's what I'm trying to get clear.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to CEO Diskey, but a policy provides direction. Okay, it does not dictate every aspect. These are the things we consider in it. If you make a policy all encompassing and imposing, we never get anything done. What it does is it provides direction to the public works manager and to us about how we will look at these situations. Ron, go ahead.
Through the chair to the members of council, it's my understanding and in my past experience that if we develop a policy, it would most likely be based a lot on traffic or traffic counts, right? And of course, this would just be criteria that we can look to and refer to on whether the road should be gravel, should it be tar and chip, should it be whatever the other options are there. And this would be a policy approved by council to guide staff, but any decisions with respect to any assets within the community would come back to council for final approval. So I hope that is clear.
Thank you, Councillor Palmetier.
So the current motion that's in front of us here, points 2, 3, and 4. Impartial assessment tool, transferring the funds and developing a policy, I believe are all good ideas. I just haven't, my point is that I'm not saying to gravel all the roads tomorrow. What I'm saying is that we should be breaking these roads apart, not lumping them together and looking at bringing back the roads individually. So that's where I have the issue with waiting on the gravel roads. However, I think we're really nitpicking some of these things because I think I'm the only one that's on that side of the table here right now in council, and the rest of you seem to kind of be fighting back and forth wanting the same thing. So that it's kind of confusing from my standpoint.
No, I agree. Like, what you have said is that it's important that we put in there that we don't wait for those roads that need to be done immediately. And you guys have identified some roads that are really bad shape that we need to attend to. So I think
I think they should just come back as individual roads for council. I don't want to see this pushed off and then it doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Because we wait to get equipment. The equipment takes time.
Yes,
Maybe
exactly.
to put in place to do proper counts. You can't put them up for a day and expect accurate data. So those kind of things, like now we could be 2-3 months. Now you're into the next term of council. We're into another winter. The roads with another winter are going to get worse. That's where I have the issue with the current notice of motion. I'd just like to see those individual pieces of road brought back and we discuss each road individually on options and just right now a subjective view until we get the other pieces in place, because we all know a policy isn't going to be here before the next term of council.
Well, and if we do that and we follow that guidance and direction and we talk about subjective and we trust our roads public works manager to come to us, then that means we have to support him when he comes to us with this, when we discuss it. We have to support him when he comes with his recommendations. I think that's what we should be doing. Go ahead.
Your worship, I think in previous discussions, the statement was put out there that these roads will be turned back to gravel, period. We tire and chip the Downey Travis Road because it's an arterial road. The traffic count at the time was significant enough that we felt it necessary to tire and chip the road. Like I said, there's new technology out there now that maybe we can improve that, but we can't leave a safety concern unattended.
That's
but
right.
I don't think we can just rip up 9.23 kilometers.
We're not doing that. We're talking about getting the right information of what's to make the decisions to look at all of these roads. We're also looking at that there are certain roads, treating each one individually, as Councilor Palmetier said, looking at each one, coming back and saying, this has to be done now because it is a hazard. Okay, we can't afford to wait till we get the equipment, till we measure it and everything. And so I think, like Councilor Palmetier has indicated, that the only change he's looking at seeing in this is that we don't wait, that we begin to respond immediately based on subjective information that the public works manager is going to come to us to identify those particular issues that you said, so that we can go ahead and fix them.
And your worship, like an emphasis around safety.
Safety, yeah.
Safety is the emphasis,
That's
not necessarily
visual.
or comfort on the road, but safety.
That's right.
We have some areas that are, whether they're at hills or at corners and things where the road is extremely bad, that would be issues. So
if we were going to amend this particular motion, okay, leaving most of the motion as it is, and if you added in the piece that you're talking about, how would you like to see that? And then I would ask Councillor Valiquette if he would like to amend his motion in accordance.
So I guess the difference would be, so place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel. That current piece is fine, and then I would like to see with the individual roads brought back, with, wait, geez, I sit alone all day. This is hard to put words together. But put a hole in converting surface treated roads to gravel and have staff come back with breakdown of each individual section of road and prioritizing safety.
That's right. Councillor Valakit.
I have no significant issue with that. I do think that we as a group have to, and you said it and I've said it before, and he's gone, but I don't tell the firefighter how to fight fires. Right? I'm not going to tell my public works guy what road is the best and what road is the worst. Although we can all go and have a look at it, we have to rely on that opinion at the end of the day. But yeah, I wouldn't object to him coming back at the next meeting and looking at those individual roads and prioritizing them, telling us which ones are potentially the most dangerous, which ones need the most attention. Again, the analysis becomes totally subjective, and it's kind of in Ryan's ballpark, to be honest with you.
Your worship, maybe we add a point to this, that we still collect, like another point to your things here, Councillor Valaket, that we still collect data on these roads, and it is still included in the for budget discussions. That this isn't a permanent removal of the tar and chip, that it's a current reactionary thing. Nobody wants to be reactionary, but we've been put in that place. So I don't know if we could add that, Councillor Valaket, that we ask for, we ask that regardless of the situation, we collect data on each of the roads to be brought back to budget for 2027.
Yeah, totally. Lucas.
We are testing you.
So I have,
Can you accomplish that? What is it, 3 weeks? You get into value based on each one? Things like that.
Okay. And what you do is you come back, Ryan, if you can't get it all done, you come back with what you have. Okay, and we start with that.
Don't think, your worship, that I think this is a small ask.
That's right. That's right.
Recorded vote, Mayor, please.
Oh, yes, for sure. Okay, I want to wait till Lucas gets his act together.
yeah. So under the section of the motion, therefore it be it resolved. I want to read this section first. The motion, it is amended as approved. I will note procedurally earlier, the mayor had read out the motion right previous to the vote. We've read this motion much previous in the meeting, and now it's potentially been amended. So I will reread it as part of
That's good.
this
Yes.
process. But for this specific amendment, that therefore be it resolved that council place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel until staff obtain current traffic count data on the individual roads and prioritize based on safety concerns identified. Is that what we're looking at?
I was looking to remove the traffic data at this time. It's his, so.
Like for right,
So that would eliminate the purchase of that.
no, we're still going to get we're still going to go ahead with the purchase of the equipment, and we're going to start, but we're not going to wait until any work on the roads until we get that equipment and have that information in. We're going to have Ryan come back to us and identify the safety concerns immediately that need to be addressed.
So like I said before, the puzzling part of this whole thing is the statement that we're gonna just turn 9.3.
We're not. It's on hold.
10 clicks. a road
It's on
into
hold.
gravel.
It's on hold. It's on hold. We're
So-
not doing, we're,
And I do agree that we need to do the safety thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we should spit out $15,000 on a piece of equipment right now.
okay.
Like it's it's in my heart to do the right thing, but what is the right thing right now?
You have to go with your best judgment. Okay. Okay, Lucas, continue.
Oh, okay, so therefore be it resolved that council place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel until staff review individual roads and prioritize based on safety concerns identified. Is that amenable?
That's.
Okay. So you're gonna reread the whole thing, though.
So
Or
is that upbeat on our?
Yeah, you just,
I
did.
think-
I just
oh,
seen
you
an
just
update
did?
happen.
Okay,
your worship, will we add a piece that regardless of the, Lucas wants as much as he can
yeah,
get,
that's right. And it's better, it's best for us as well.
but regardless of the outcome, that council still investigate the data for each of these roads
Totally.
and include them in the 2027 budget.
That's right.
Just you just wedge it in there.
For clarity, this will be the data count portion will be referred to the 2027 budget.
No,
No,
I think what we're doing is we're saying that we're going to proceed with the purchase of this equipment, okay? We're going to start to collect the information, but we know that we're not going to be able to have it in this particular term. So we'll be there to influence the decisions for the 2027.
This council wants to put it on the next council's radar.
That's right.
We want that data to go to them
That's
to
right.
make,
We want
for them to decide
That's right.
on that situation based on, you never know, maybe a miracle happens and we have lots of money.
That's right. Go ahead, CAO.
Just for clarity, through the chair to the counselor, is it your intent that we come back with reports on each individual recommendation for each road? And if, for example, we talked about Morton Road.
Yep.
It would be safer to pulverize that now and then make a decision on resurfacing it in the spring, say, or later in the fall. Is that sort of your intent? to
Yes,
Improve the
yes.
road condition now? Like, I don't know. if-
Improve the current road condition now and then decide. Morton's kind of an outlier, I would say. It's one that I don't think any council is going to resurface that piece, but it's just kind of a going through. If we come back with those sections of road, look at them and say it's safer to pulverize right now. Council comes back, and if they decide that yes, with the data, it does make sense to have it hard top, at least it's safe in the current state. But that there is still an option for it to be done. It's just to keep, like I said, we're gonna be next spring before anything is done on these roads. A lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah, no, I drove Flinton Road the other day and it is pulverized and looks a lot safer and felt safer driving than it did before, right? And now I know we're resurfacing that road starting Monday,
Mhm.
but at least the road conditions seemed a lot better just with the pulverization
Yeah,
that took place in the prep work to do that, right?
yeah.
Okay, so Lucas.
so as a final and further that the results of the traffic data collected be reviewed at the 2027 budget deliberations.
So
Okay.
thank you, Lucas.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Thank you, Lucas.
Are we ready to move forward with the recorded vote?
Please do.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Demarche has requested a recorded vote. The motion's been moved by Councillor Valiquette, seconded by Councillor Palmetier. Whereas on April 28th, 2026, council passed the Public Works Report, consideration for surface treated roadways. And whereas the report recommended converting certain failing surface treated roads back to gravel, including sections of Rapids Road, Lynch and Labarge Road, Morton Road, and Palmetier Road. And whereas the recommendations were based on the 2024 Roads Needs Study, which identified these roads as Class 6 roads, which with low traffic volumes. And whereas the municipality does not currently have a comprehensive program that evaluates the long-term viability of maintaining roads in their existing condition, hardtop, tar and chip, or gravel, nor one that considers the varied uses of these roads, including residential, commercial, and tourism-related needs. And whereas the municipality does not have traffic counting equipment and current traffic data relies on historical counts, and whereas the 2026 capital budget approved $15,000 for the purchase of an electronic sign, and whereas council has previously discussed that an electronic sign may not be suitable for the municipality, and whereas $15,000 would be sufficient to purchase traffic counting equipment for the Public Works Department, and whereas decisions regarding the conversion of surface treated roads to gravel should be based on current accurate traffic data, therefore be it resolved that council place a hold on converting surface treated roads to gravel until staff review individual roads and prioritize based on safety concerns identified. And further, that staff begin developing an impartial assessment tool that incorporates relevant information about each road, including safety considerations and potential liability issues based on its condition 5 years after installation. And further, that staff immediately purchase traffic counting equipment at a cost not to exceed $15,000, funded by repurposing the 2026 capital dollars allocated for the electronic sign. And further, that staff report back to council on the development of a policy for converting surface treated roads to gravel. And further, that the results of the traffic data collected be reviewed at the 2027 budget deliberations. Deputy Mayor DeMarche, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Palmetier, how do you vote?
In favor.
Councillor Fleeler, how do you vote?
I don't support the spending the 15 grand, but I do support the safety aspect of it. So I have to support it.
Councillor Valiquette, how do you vote?
In favor.
Mayor DeGenova, how do you vote?
In favor.
The motion has carried 4-1.
I want to thank everyone for a robust discussion on this. I want to thank the residents in our community that came forward. And I want to thank each of you for your contributions. This, although may appear to have been fraught with problems, you've all made it something that we can work with. And I know there are certain things that we might not all be comfortable with, but we voted, and I'm grateful for everybody's contribution. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, Lucas, we got a lot still to do, and so you have to keep your eye on that clock when we have to do a motion to extend if we have to.
Probably.
Are we okay?
Should
with
do a motion to extend before we move into closed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay, we'll do correspondence. Oh, you want to just do it now?
The motion to extend? Let's do correspondence and then do
Okay.
the motion.
Okay, could I have a mover and a seconder to table correspondence information, please? Thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche, and thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Okay, is there anything that anybody would like to pull out? Yes, Councillor.
Nothing that I necessarily want to pull out, but maybe just something the deputy could take back to the OPP. So I read through their annual report, which is, as always, it's good, but it would be nice to see if it was broken down into municipalities.
Yeah, the reports that we normally.
I know the ones that you normally get
it
are,
down.
but this one isn't. And they talk about sexual assaults and things that are very important and oftentimes go underreported. And it would be nice to know what's been going on in our municipality. It would just if you can take that back.
Yes,
It's not a big.
so to Councillor Valiquette, those are the individual reports we get on,
Yep.
semi-monthly. This one is an annual report that is legislated by, I think it's the Attorney General's office, that they must give us an annual report. So that this is why this is all encompassing instead of just individual. That's the only reason.
Yeah. No, I understand what it's for. I just,
It's a fairly new thing, right? So.
thanks.
I wanted to pull 13.12.1, 13.12.2, 13.12.3, and 13.12.4 for support. That was the one from Peterborough on accuracy of municipal voter lists. on the town of Whitby over the land tribunal enhancing difference to municipal planning decisions. The request for a benchmarking funding formulas and length of stay standards for emergency shelters. And request for a support resolution funding and coordinate plans to combat tick-borne diseases. So they're the four that I would like to bring forward. Want to repeat those again, Lucas?
13.12.1. 13.2, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4.
Correct. Anybody else? Everybody okay with that? Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, could I have a move? Oh, wait, you okay? Okay, could I have a move and a seconder to table the committee board minutes, please? Thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on any of those minutes? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the committee board minutes as presented. All in favor? Thank you. We are going to be moving in closed meeting. Could I have a move and a seconder to move into closed? Oh, no, we got to do the motion first. So could I have a move and a seconder to table a motion to extend our council meeting? Thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche. Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Any questions on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor. Thank you. Now moving on, could I have a move and a seconder to move into close, please? Thank you, Councillor Palmetier. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Be resolved that council go into closed meeting at Lucas 8:20. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, well, let's take just a little bit of a break here. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to, could I have a movement, a seconder for notification of closed meeting and staff direction, please? Thank you, Councilor Palmetier. Thank you, Councilor Flaylor. Be it resolved that staff follow council direction from the closed meeting. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a movement, a seconder for the conformatory bylaw? Thank you, Councilor Palmetier. Thank you, Councilor Valiquette. Be it resolved, the conformatory bylaw number 2026-54 be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 21st day of July 2026. All in favor? Thank you. And could I have a movement, a seconder to adjourn the meeting? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh, and thank you, Councilor Flaylor. Be it resolved. Okay, scrap that.
It's fine. Now Jamie doesn't feel as bad.
Okay, be it resolved that council will adjourn the meeting at,
9:28 PM.
okay, 9:28.
I started to laugh when you looked that way, because I knew he was gonna get.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let that dog
You're off
hit
the
me in
hook.